Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fit for Purpose podcast. My name is Jacob, and this is Brandon.
Yeah, in today's episode, we're going to dive into protein. How can we eliminate the confusion around how you can crush your protein daily goal?
Yep, so join us in this episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow along as we continue to explore what it means to be fit for purpose. There's so much with protein besides just like, oh, it helps me build muscle. Mm-hmm. There's so many functions that your body relies on amino acids for.
We're talking about building our plates, building our meal times, whether it's a snack, whether it's sitting down to have dinner, around your protein.
All right, man. What up?
Dude, busy day.
You got some shit to talk?
About dads who look max on Instagram.
You talking shit, bro?
Dude, what? Say with your chest.
Say what you
Say with your chest.
Did you watch any of that Kevin Hart?
I have not watched it. Is it pretty good? It's Kevin Hart getting roasted.
Yeah,
I definitely want to go see that.
Yeah, I'm not. I used to love Kevin Hart.
Well, when he came out with that, like that bit, like that whole
his like those
special.
3 stand-up specials in a row, like I'm a grown little man.
Yeah.
Seriously funny.
Dude, when he's like sitting on the little stool, he's like, look at me. Look at this shit.
Look at this shit.
His feet are all
His feet are
dangling.
dangling. Nobody's scared of this shit.
He like he tells some story about like either his dad or his uncle who like gets drunk at a bar and like he gets beat up at like outside the bar. Like he just got into this like bar fight. And he's like, I don't know. I blinked and it was like an octopus like beat the shit out of my dad. He was like, do. Like he had tentacles. I never seen somebody get hit so hard that change fall out the pocket or whatever he said, dude. It's so good.
He's talking about, I love when he's talking about like being with this girl, like out somewhere and like, you know, if you're with me and someone comes up and smacks you, like you just got smacked. I don't know. He's talking about he's like not going to defend his girl at all.
That's on you.
So silly.
Or the one I always bring up in my adult years in my dadhood is where he's talking about hanging out with Dwayne Wade, and he's like, you know, the way my checking account, my savings account, like
set up like to be 3 days,
because he's like, I can't afford to be friends with Dwayne Wade because he's just got millions and millions of dollars. So D Wade would always hit him up like, let's go do this. He's like, yeah, well, you know, the way my finances, like I got a checking and I got savings, and then like
it's gonna take like 3 days for me to like transfer the money. Yeah, dude, he used to be so funny.
Well, think about like 3 stand-up specials propelled an entire career.
Oh yeah.
Of now he's in Hollywood and in movies, and like he's doing, like we just watched, it's called Superdog, but it's like from the Justice League, and they made this like animated kids movie where like the animals are like the superheroes, but the Justice League is like in it, like Superman, Batman, all the guys. And he's like, him and The Rock are like the voices of like the 2 main animals. Like they're doing like voice acting for like pets. Yeah. Like
that was one of the roasts that he played like a white bunny in like Pets 2 or something.
Yeah.
He's like, you wouldn't even play a black bunny. That was all the jokes were about how shitty his movies are and then how short he is.
I love it.
Yeah. It was funny. It was entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
Some of them were okay, but Shane Gillis hosted it. He did a really good job.
Dude, he's the GOAT. Yeah.
Tony Hinchcliffe just destroyed everyone.
Oh, he did.
It was so brutal. Yeah.
I love Tony Hinchcliffe, dude.
Yeah.
His Kill Tony specials are awesome.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
For sure. If you just want a good laugh, go watch it.
Yeah.
Don't watch it with your kids.
I could use a good laugh. That'd be awesome.
Don't watch it with your kids.
No.
It's pretty I love that Netflix like lets him go hard.
Oh, for sure.
It was really good.
Yeah, that was like the Tom Brady one too. I feel like.
Tom Brady like did the intro. So Tom Brady like came up in the intro and like he actually was really funny. He roasted Kevin.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yes. Well, I love a good comedy special.
Keep it light, baby.
Keep it light.
One of my friends is like he'll say some like off the wall shit, like some offensive shit, and then just be like, if it's funny, it's fine. Like that's the excuse. As long as it's funny, you can say whatever you want.
with all due respect, he's like, Ricky, just because you say with all due respect doesn't mean you can say whatever you want. He's like, sure as hell can't. Sure as hell does. Yeah. I'm a winner.
I'm taking nights.
I think that's honestly true though, right? Like, because if you're just like, because comedians, that's what comedy is.
Yeah, they're just trying to make
Nobody,
you laugh.
like every good comedian, if you're a good comedian, nobody's safe.
Yeah.
Right? Like, look at like South Park. South Park has been around for decades.
They destroy everyone.
And nobody's safe. Like
Yeah.
they're not like picking sides or anything. They're just like,
It's
no, we're
just-
making fun of everybody.
It's just for the sake of funny.
Yes.
Which is the point. It's like not like they don't mean anything that they're saying. It's not like a reflection of their personal beliefs or anything. It's like it's just trying to be funny.
Yeah, because I think that's where like if you can remove the offense from it,
Yeah.
like that is comedy.
Yeah, there's a pureness there.
Like I should be able to laugh at myself.
Absolutely.
Well, we love it.
Yeah, dude. So, you want to jump into this
This
topic?
feels like so big news. Let's talk tea. Let's talk the tea on the on the pod.
You got tea to talk?
I got tea about protein intake. The tea and protein.
Let's gossip about protein.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, do you know what my wife said about protein? Oh man. Yeah, let's jump in, dude.
All right, let's do it.
Well, we all know it's important. We see it everywhere. I think that's been the craziest thing lately, like the marketing strategy around protein right now. And like I just feel like it's creating like so much confusion for people. They're like, they go to Taco Bell and they're like, wait, I can get like this nugget meal for 70 grams of protein, or like Starbucks now has like a protein cold foam, whatever, or walk down the, like honestly every aisle at Target. It's like, buy this new Cheez-Its protein or
Protein Cheez-Its.
I'm dead serious. Like, I don't know if they have Cheez-Its protein, but I'm just saying like, I'm telling you, dude, like I don't understand it.
Everything. Yeah. Everyone's trying to push like they're basically like protein washing their products. Like, this is healthy because it has X amount of protein.
That's it. And it could be like as little as 4 grams. But if they put it in there, there's like rules around, well, now I can put it on the front of the box, right? Like,
if they just put the word protein on the front of the box.
And then you think, that's healthy. I'm going to go grab it.
It has protein in it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
No, I think that's the theory, right? It's like, and it works. It obviously works. If they wouldn't be marketing in that way.
Yeah.
So,
well, they're leveraging a common message like in the space right now is that you need enough protein to be healthy.
Yeah.
That's important. So they're just like latching onto that, but they're just marketing their shitty, unhealthy products, trying to get people to buy them based on that one fact that there is some amount of protein in here.
Yeah. Well, we get to create clarity.
We get to
define shitty protein.
we get to talk shit.
Yeah. No, I think that's important. I think we could jump in and just talk about the whys. Okay. I think first and foremost, like being able to set the expectation of, okay, I hear this everywhere. I see this everywhere. It's stressing me out because I've been told I need to get X amount of grams in a day. And it's one more thing to think about, but like what makes protein important?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of benefits to consuming enough protein, especially if you're someone who's interested in changing your physique, building muscle, losing body fat, being healthy in general. If you're like on this path of trying to pursue better health, then getting enough protein is definitely a place that you can start. And it's like one of those early boxes you should check. Mm-hmm. It's like one of the big boulders that you want to try and get in place before you worry about some of the other like random details.
Yeah.
The benefits of getting enough protein in are it supports lean muscle mass. So it helps you build and maintain muscle tissue on your body, which is hugely important especially as we age, so we can stay resilient and strong. Having muscle mass on your body also helps with your metabolism and your metabolic health, the way that your body can handle carbohydrates and sugar and stave off things like diabetes. And when you consume enough protein, you provide your body with what are called amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein, and they're like the building blocks of your muscles, but there are also specific functions that all amino acids have in our bodies. So they support, athletic performance, so they support sleep. Your body uses amino acids for so many different things. I mean, we have talked about peptides in the past. It's like a huge, a popular subject right now. People are talking about peptides, the benefits of them, how they can be used. But a peptide is just a chain of amino acids. Yep. So peptide really is just like a form of protein.
Yep.
That's like, it's a form of protein that's strung together in a way that signals something to your body.
Yep.
And all amino acids in our body actually signal certain things. So getting enough protein provides your body with enough amino acids so we can detoxify our livers and we can sleep well and we can have athletic performance, and all sorts of functions in our body rely on the signaling of these amino acids, not just for muscle mass or things like that.
Yeah. And in terms of like, we've talked about already, like bad, shitty proteins, like whatever you call it. How do you define good versus bad in terms of our protein intake?
So are you talking about the quality of the protein?
Yeah. Like, like if I'm gonna select options, if I'm seeking ways to increase my protein intake, like how do I go about finding ones that are going to be good and ones that are not going to be beneficial?
For me, it has a lot to do with picking things that are naturally occurring. So I believe that our systems, our bodies, us as humans evolved in line with nature, right? So our biology is used to seeing, when I say used to seeing, our biology relies and depends on certain nutrients, vitamins, minerals, cofactors, proteins, amino acids that we have interacted with for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. So if you go into a store and you buy protein Cheez-Its, for example,
which I need to go find so I can guilt-free sit on the couch and eat some Cheez-Its.
The quote unquote protein and the ingredients that are in that food are not things that our biology is quote unquote used to seeing, things that we evolved with. So that those are going to be like new implements to our human physiology that our bodies don't really know what to do with.
Yeah.
If we consume proteins from things that are naturally occurring, like chicken eggs, duck eggs, whatever, beef, turkey, pork, whatever that looks like. I mean, you can also get protein from some certain plant foods, and the amino acids in those plant foods can be beneficial for you too. But finding protein in general, it's always going to be coming from animal foods. That's like the biggest source of protein that are naturally occurring. That protein is also going to be paired with some amount of fat that has fat soluble vitamins in it. It's going to be paired with minerals. It's going to be paired again with cofactors and all sorts of things that are in this piece of steak, let's say, for example, that are recognizable to your body. So your body can see that, take it and say, oh, I know exactly what to do with this, digest it and use it efficiently to, again, maintain muscle mass and do a bunch of other functions in your body with those amino acids.
Yeah. One of the things you said on one of the episodes you did a while back that has stuck with me ever since, and I feel like I use this a lot with clients, is like, if I eat something that was, let's take an animal that was once living, and amino acids are meant to create living tissue, it's much easier to create life from something that was once alive. Like I feel like that really resonated with me.
Yes.
And that's just a really easy way to think about it. And you mentioned like, there's a lot of different like plant sources of proteins, and I don't think it's right to like knock those sources. But one thing that's important to include is that when we talk about amino acids, animal proteins are one of the few sources of proteins that have a complete profile of amino acids. So when we're trying to those amino acids need to go into our system and they need to complete a task. And that task is rebuilding tissue. If it's, creating hair follicles, if it's skin, if it's, I had a hard workout and my muscle tissue is broken down, like the amino acids go into the body and they have a role. And it's much more efficient that when those aminos are present, all of them are present. It's like, it's like doing a group project. Like if I had 5 people in a group project and one of them decided to go like hang out and not do anything, well, I'm not going to effectively accomplish that group project in a, a feasible amount of time, as well as I would if I had 5 strong working members. Maybe just a really basic analogy to like clearly paint that. But I really liked how you shared the like life to life example.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's much more efficient for your body to take something that was alive and turn it into you than to take some like processed dead food product that's made of shitty ingredients and turn that food into this physical body. Because that's really what we're doing when we consume food. Like that's at the base level of it. What we're really doing is we're taking that food and we're turning it into us.
Yeah.
Because we have to, our cells are turning over all the time, right? We have to recycle things, or parts of our body are like dying off and shedding, and we're killing off these cells and recycling them, and we're having to reproduce ourselves all the time. It's estimated, I mean, it's changed over the years, like what the estimation is. And, the rough estimate is like every year, every cell in your body turns over. Apparently that is like a little bit different with like your brain and different parts of your body. Like your brain might turn over more slowly than other parts of your body. But you could basically assume that like if you go one solid year of eating really clean, you'll be like a completely different person. Much,
Dude,
like
yes.
Basically all of the parts of your body have been replenished and rebuilt with better nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so basically we're trying to select foods that have like kind of the baseline of what we're trying to explain is like what the term bioavailability. So how your body recognizes what's coming in, and then the percentage of what comes in that your body then can use. Because the greater that percentage, the more effective it is.
Yep.
And so in terms of like selecting nutrients, like we made the joke about the protein Cheez-Its, like that's not real. That's genetically modified crap, ultra processed stuff that is not real food. So the bioavailability of that, it may say it has 9 grams of protein per serving, if we're just painting the example of whatever that object is. But like, am I really consuming and digesting 9 grams of protein, or is it really more like 4.5 grams or 3 grams? Or
what are you actually getting into your body?
Versus if I eat an egg, like I'm going to get all 6 grams of that egg. My body's like, yep, I know what to do with this. Boom.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yep. And you also get, choline for your brain, and again, fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K. And it's just a more complete source of nutrition for your body. So and again, the amino acid profile is different. If it might be 9 grams of protein in that processed food, but it might only have a couple different amino acids. Whereas if you eat something like an egg or a piece of steak or chicken, there's going to be a larger profile of amino acids, and your body uses amino acids to build neurotransmitters that are important for mood and the way your brain functions. And they produce things like glutathione, which support, detoxification of the body. It's like one of the body's most powerful antioxidants. So there's so much with protein besides just like, it helps me build muscle. There's so many functions that your body relies on amino acids for.
Yeah. And in a world full of like supplementation, like how great would it be if you didn't really have to supplement anything because the nutrition that you were seeking did that work for you? Yeah. Like when we talk about supplements, which we'll get into protein supplements and things like that. But they're designed to fill the gaps. But if my thing of steak has everything that I need, like one big bomb of nutrient dense food, I'm set. I'm good. So talking about too, how we can set like, I think it's really big right now, especially in the coaching world. You talked about one of the easiest, like low hanging steps that someone could take in terms of becoming more healthy, creating momentum on their fitness journey is like setting a protein goal. That's something I do with all my clients is like have a daily goal. How am I trying to accomplish that? Let's talk a little bit about maybe how we go about setting that goal for like the average person.
Yeah, it's definitely a range. I think most quality studies show anywhere from like 0.6, 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight up to potentially 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight.
So I shouldn't be doing 3 grams of protein per pound of body weight?
Probably not. I mean,
can't crap anymore, but I've gotten really, just kidding.
I haven't pooped in 6 days. But I mean, I've experimented with going over that for sure. I've gone up to like extended periods of time for me going like 220, 225 grams of protein. And I'm only 185 pounds. So I've definitely exceeded that. But I don't think that, at least in my experience and what we see in studies, is that you don't necessarily see any more benefit regarding muscle growth when you go beyond that.
Yeah.
Like you get to a certain point and then you stop getting the benefits, right? There's like a point of diminishing return where it's like, okay, you're just eating more protein, but it's not
your
actually,
body's having to work harder to process all of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just putting your gut, your liver under more stress. So if we're looking at that window is pretty big. So, 0.6 to 1. I think it really depends on the person, their ability to digest protein well. Their physical activity level is huge. And I also think that like ancestry has a little bit to do with it too. People that have genetics that evolved closer to the poles of the earth seem to need and do a little bit better with like higher protein, higher fat intake and a little bit lower carbohydrate intake. And then people that have genetics that evolved closer to the equator seem to do better with a little bit more carbohydrates and a little bit less fat and protein. But again, that's on a sliding scale too.
Sure.
So I think anywhere in that range is good. If you are lifting heavy weights 4, 5, 6 times a week, you're going to want to be at the top end of that.
Upper end.
For sure. And if you're only lifting, once or twice a week, or you're not really doing any resistance training at all right now, then you're probably fine at that like 0.6 grams per pound of body weight.
Yeah.
Another caveat there is like, what is your body weight and what is your goal body weight and what's the difference there?
Yeah.
So maybe touch on that too.
Yeah, I was just going to hit on that. That's usually the recommendation I'll give to clients is per pound of goal body weight. Because I think if you took someone who was, let's say they're at 300 pounds, and asking them if they've never focused on their protein intake and they're trying to focus on the 1.0 gram, 300 grams a day, that's insane. So I like to go with like the goal body weight because I think it becomes a little bit more digestible and feasible for folks in terms of even just how we mentally process it. But then also we're not overloading our system trying to break down 300 grams of protein. That's insane. So that is one thing I like to mention. And then also like how do we decipher between how much we supplement and how much we get through like whole foods? I think it's, in a perfect world, if you could eat every gram of protein through like a whole food, that's awesome. But I don't know that world exists for a lot of folks, myself included. And so I always encourage folks, like I go with like a 70-30% rule. So if you could consume 70% up to 70% or more of your daily nutrition protein goal through whole foods, and then 30% or less through supplementation, I think that's like a win.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like one little caveat I'd throw in there.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you just said, the whole food nutrition is going to be a little bit more effective, but a lot of times that's hard for people to do, just with the way that our lives are structured sometimes. Yeah. If you're not able to cook 3 meals for yourself every day, or, you find yourself on the road or having to, instead of eating out, potentially you have like a protein shake or something. I think that's definitely a win instead of just throwing your protein goal out the window or eating something that is not beneficial for you. Yeah,
like if you're someone who like doesn't eat breakfast, let's say, but we need to get protein up, and you notice like around 11 a.m. when you're at work because you skip breakfast, now you're having this like crazy blood sugar crash. Like an easy solution is like have a protein shake when you head out the door for work. That way you can stabilize your blood sugars. You get 30 grams of protein like right there in a moment, and now you're set up for success through the day. You don't get the blood sugar crash. You're already 30 grams towards your total by 10, 11 a.m. Like that's like a real world example of where that could work, because like something like that is not going to overload your system if you're someone who just doesn't like to eat a meal. Yeah. But then you get all these other benefits that go along with it.
Yeah. So I think that's something we also kind of didn't really touch on we talked about like why protein is necessary for like bodily functions. We didn't talk about kind of the benefits of eating enough protein as far as like how it affects like, blood sugar, mood, energy, things like that throughout the day.
And satiation too. So like the feeling of feeling full, because protein does take longer to digest and is more dense in nature. It naturally makes you feel more full when you eat it. So, you know, like you were mentioning how much, you know, you have seasons where you increase your protein intake beyond your body weight. Like for me, whenever I'm in like a deficit phase, like where I'm trying to intentionally lose body fat, that's one of the things I'll just do regardless, is increase my protein total beyond my body weight, because then it just keeps me feeling full throughout the day despite having like less calories. So that's one thing. And then yes, blood sugar, it blunts the blood glucose, like glycemic index response. So if I had something, let's just say like I had a handful of dates, which are something that probably has a pretty high glycemic index, right? It's a fast acting sugar. If I had that on its own, that's going to spike my glucose, which has this like crazy metabolic response.
Yes.
But if I had dates and then a couple slices of cheese with the dates, and I added that protein with the carbohydrate, it's going to completely change the way that your body interacts with the carbohydrates.
Yeah.
So that's always like I think a win, unless it's something where like I use dates as the example, because like I went and trained this afternoon, and before I went to work out, I had like 3 dates just to get like some sugars that I could readily use for my training session.
That's because you know you're about to move.
Yeah.
So that blood sugar, it's not going to spike your blood sugar and then just like hang out in your bloodstream, like causing issues. You're gonna with the activity, you're pulling that into your muscles.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you have some energy.
But if I had that same snack and I wasn't going to go work out, I would be sure that I paired a protein with it, because it's going to be way better.
Yeah. But a little tip for you guys, like if you're sitting down to a meal, try to consume like some of your protein and fat first, and like let that sit for a few minutes before you jump into rice or potatoes or fruit or whatever it looks like. And that's going to help kind of just mitigate your blood sugar response.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Which will, again, help your energy be more stable and help your metabolism be more stable. So you're not like going on these highs and lows of a roller coaster all day.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's like, we can get into like practical application. Like that is practical application. We're talking about building our plates, building our meal times, whether it's a snack, whether it's sitting down to have dinner, around your protein as the objective.
Yes.
Yeah. So the way that I do that, and the way that my wife and I, like, we treat that, is when we go to the store, we are purchasing, like, we're not thinking about like this recipe that we're going to make. I mean, you know, my wife will do that. Like, she'll be like, okay, let's get chicken because I saw this thing. But usually we're going and we're saying, okay, like, we're going to have chicken one night. We're going to have chuck roast another night. We're going to do ground beef another night. And that's how we're selecting our meals. And then, if my wife wants to make a recipe or something like creative, then we'll use that protein for that recipe. But it's protein first. That's how I'm selecting my meals. And then it's how can I add value to the protein? So you'd mentioned rice, like maybe it's a slow digesting carbohydrate. Maybe it's some fruit. Maybe it's a vegetable. Maybe it's something that's like starchy, like a potato. That's going to be equally dense in nutrients and add value to the plate. It's not just like grabbing at straws just because it like sounds good. It's like, I want everything that I'm going to put on my plate to be quality and fueling me for what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah. What I hear is you're building the meal around the protein portion.
Yes.
Because really that is the priority. If you're looking at the nutrient density, you're looking at the value, you're looking at the calories, like on a real level, that piece of protein is like the star of the show.
1,000%.
Like that's like, that is the meal. And then we're building around that of like, okay, what can we add to this to make it a nice, well-balanced meal? Yeah. But the piece of protein, whether it's steak, ground beef, chicken, pork, whatever, eggs, that is like the most nutrient dense thing on your plate, where you're getting your protein. Again, you're getting a lot of vitamins and minerals. You're getting a decent chunk of your calories and just general nutrition from that. And then you're balancing that with some produce for some fiber and maybe some different nutrients that you wouldn't get from the protein. And then whatever amount of carbohydrates you need based off of your your personal needs, your activity levels, things like that.
Yeah.
Your goals.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And then it's like spacing that out throughout the day, right? Because we talked about like, okay, if I have a goal, let's say like for right now, as the example, I'll use myself, like I'm trying to hit 200 grams of protein a day. If I have a 200 gram protein goal and I skip breakfast and maybe like 11 a.m. is when I'm trying to have that first meal, like that becomes like, that's where I think people become overwhelmed, right? It's like, I got to hit this much. And now I have this really short window of time that I got to cram this in. And, it gets to 8 p.m. and you're full up to your neck and you're like, I don't have more room. I would say start early and space it out throughout the day, because like we know it's going to take a long time to digest. And we know we need this full window of time to crush our goal. So, the bigger chunk that you can bite off, let's say before 10 a.m., that's going to make the rest of the day feel like a lot less pressure to accomplish your goal.
Yeah. And this is a little bit of a tangent, but as humans, we do seem to handle nutrients and digestion better earlier in the day. Like you were saying, if you skip breakfast and you have the goal of eating 150 or like you said, 200 grams of protein for you, if you're only eating 2 meals or 2 meals and a snack, it's like hard. You're going to need to eat like a pound of meat at each of those meals.
Which would suck to sit there and like shovel in your mouth.
And then you're stuffed, and then you're like laying down for bed and you still feel full, and your liver is still trying to process all the amino acids that you put into your body, and like your body's still trying to like digest that and partition it out. And then you're not getting as deep of a sleep because your body's still working on these functions over here. So, I mean, people have success doing like 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day and, skipping breakfast. But I would just encourage you to not save your larger portions of food and protein for, your last meal of the day. Mm-hmm. Whether it's maybe you skip breakfast, but then your first meal, like at, lunch or that 11 a.m. time, needs to be a very hefty meal.
Yeah.
So you're fueling yourself.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's hard. I've experimented with like I've done 2 meals a day. I've never done 1 meal a day consistently. I've experimented with doing 2 meals a day and eating like large portions. And it's convenient, but it's hard for me to get all the calories that I need in 2 meals and like feel good like eating that big of a meal.
Yeah, you're not getting like consistent hits of energy, of all that
and then
stuff.
It's like such a big meal. I'm eating like,
you're just gorged and like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating like 12 ounces of meat and a few eggs and like a pile of rice. And it's just like, it just feels like so much food. I think you definitely can do that, but it seems to be more effective to have a larger meal as your first meal of the day. And then kind of like start to taper that off so that your body is, as you're trying to like wind down in the evening, your body's like done digesting, you've gotten all your nutrients for the day, and you can start to like wind down and let your body start to drop into that sleep mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I almost think like the folks that like don't do breakfast or claim they're just not breakfast people, like I think that can very well be rewired. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Like I use this example, and it's not to like talk down to, like when I'm talking about nutrition and I'm talking about creating appetite with my clients, it's not to like dumb this down or to talk down to my clients, but I like to talk about the example of like my dog, right? Like my dog knows that morning and evening there's food in her bowl. And because of that, she's expectant of it, right? Like, so if there's not food at 5 p.m. when there normally is, she's looking at me like, what the hell? Where's my food? You know what I mean? Because she's conditioned, like that's like classical conditioning, like to expect food, which in terms, now that she's expectant of that, all of her hormones in her body are responding to preparing for eating. Her appetite increases, her stomach is starting to tell her signals like I need to put food in here. Like people are the exact same way. We're beings, and it's just a matter of you starting to put this stuff into practice. And as you do that over time, eventually you will start to get some of the same cues. If I'm waking up first thing in the morning and I'm slamming the cup of coffee as I'm rushing out the door, and my cortisol is through the roof, and I'm stressed because I've been running around trying to get the kids dressed and trying to get them off to school, and
you're late for work.
I'm late for work. I got a work meeting to go, and all I've had is 32 ounces of coffee. yeah, your body's going to not prioritize eating.
You're not going to feel hungry.
You're not going to feel hungry.
Ramped up.
You also like hit a bunch of stimulants through your caffeine. So then, yeah, like of course by 11 a.m. you haven't had your first meal, and then you're at the point where now your blood sugar's crashing and you're like sweating and you're starving, and then you hit Jack in the Box because it's convenient. Like that's where that tangent goes full circle. But like
just painted a picture.
So I paint that picture just to clearly state, like, if you are someone who lives in that camp, it's going to probably benefit you to like try and slowly shift out of that.
Yeah.
And here's a practical example of how you do that. Like, start small, like do it often, and then eventually I think your appetite would start to not be so suppressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if you get into the habit of you have your last meal at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., you're going to be hungry at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m.
Yeah, heck
like,
yeah.
Yeah, if you're snacking and eating up until 10 or 11 o'clock at night,
yeah,
then of course you're not going to be hungry when you wake up at 6 a.m. and you're not going to be hungry at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. for breakfast because your body is still processing through that, right? But if you get into the habit of shifting your dinner time a little bit earlier and not eating in those couple hours before bed, then you're going to wake up. You're going to have an elimination most likely because your body's digested and processed the food you've eaten. And then you're going to feel hungry. And then as you're getting going into your day and you're starting to need nutrients because you're increasing your activity level, you're increasing your brain power, that's a great time to be taking in nutrients.
Yeah.
Because your body is like, okay, we're doing stuff. The day is, we're moving forward with the day. We want some nutrition coming on board.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you can totally shift your patterns. It's just, people often think that like whatever pattern they've fallen into is just like who they are. It's like, that's not.
Like, have you ever heard that people be like, oh, I'm just a snacker. Like I just eat little like bits here and bits there, but I don't
it's just
really,
what you do.
It's like, well, that's not who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, okay, well, how is that working out for you? We could change that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be who you are.
Yeah. Cause I think what we're trying to both clearly state is like being able to actually partition your meals. Like, and I'll say this, dude, like this morning I had breakfast. I had 10 minutes to eat breakfast, like between training sessions, and had to wolf down my food, but it was still like the thoughtfulness of saying, okay, I know I have like these 3 sessions back to back, and then I've got to like take my son to school. So like, this is my window of time to have that meal. So partitioning your meals so that it's like, you sit down, have the thing, versus snacking like a bird throughout the day, because that equally will start to desensitize your ability to recognize that you're hungry and need to have food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, what you're saying basically is that it has to be a priority.
Yeah.
If you're on this path of trying to become a healthier person and change some of your habits so that they're more in line with you having better outcomes in your health over time, and you want to feel better and look better, then you're going to have to, at some point, come up against yourself, look in the mirror and be like, okay, what am I doing that is not conducive to my goals, to the place, to the place that I'm trying to go? And if this is a place of fault for you, where you know you're not getting enough protein, your meal timing is off, your meals are inconsistent, you're not getting, some days you're eating way too much, some days you're not eating enough, and you don't know where your meals are coming from, so it tends to be random. You're going to have to sit down and make it a priority and plan ahead and be like, okay, tomorrow looks like this. Tomorrow I have a meeting at 8 and I got to get my son to school by 9:30 and he's got practice in the afternoon. Okay. So like, this is my day. How can I fit in 3 solid meals and where are those going to come from? I have, am I going to make eggs? Am I going to make some ground beef for lunch? Can I make that now tonight so it's ready for tomorrow?
That's it.
Dude, it's like,
there.
You're going to have to just be aware. You're going to have to plan ahead and start to engage with reality, with your life, so that you can make changes.
Yeah. I think that's why most people fail is there's nothing prepared. Like, making things a priority means that there's preparation that's being done to prioritize it. Like one thing that my wife and I really focus in on is, like, we're not big like meal preppers. Like, I think there's this idea that if you want to eat healthy, you've got to be like a bodybuilder and you've got to grill all your steak and all your, chicken and prep
put them in all your containers,
your big rice pot, and put them in your containers. But like, we don't do that. Like, cause who the heck wants to eat like a dog throughout the week? But one thing we will do is prep proteins. And like real life example of that, my wife made like some chicken salad this week, and it was like, dude, so good.
I
by
love
the way.
chicken salad.
It was like, she like cooked up some bacon. She had a ton of like chicken that she was going to use for like some enchilada recipe that she made. But like, so she had some shredded like chicken breast cooked in the crock pot, some Greek yogurt, like all this stuff, just mixed all up in there, and then put it in like a big bowl and just set it in the fridge. Like what's cool about that is like for 3 days, before whatever it goes bad, like now it's going to like marinate in there, the flavor, it gets good. But dude, like today, again, like short on time for lunch, and then I could very easily just grab that bowl. I could grab my slices of bread. I could make my like chicken salad sandwich. I tracked and logged it, and now I'm ready to go on without my, with my day. Boom.
Yeah.
And that's how that happens. And that could be in the morning, before your kids wake up. Another example, like, and this is helpful because my wife and I work from home, but it's like, hey, we're having steak tonight. Like that's what's in the fridge. So, before my daughter like gets off to school, we'll put it on a sheet pan and marinate it and set it in the fridge. So like when it's dinner time, you take it out, you go grill it, takes 15 minutes, and now you have this great meal for your family. Like it just takes thoughtfulness.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be, got to think ahead.
Yeah.
And I love, like throughout the week, most of what I'm eating is eggs and ground beef.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes chicken. Today I had chicken salad. So good.
Dude,
love chicken salad.
It is so good.
And it's so clutch. It sits in the fridge. You eat it cold, and it's delicious.
Yes.
And yeah, you go in there and take a scoop out. You can have it with you can have it with an apple. It's
yeah.
Like, I got my protein.
Oh, I do
my
that
fat,
all the time.
My carbs. Boom.
I'm like, I don't
That's
have rice made. Like I'm just gonna cut up 2 apples, and now I got boom.
That's a meal.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. So most of what I'm doing during the week is I do a large breakfast because I feel best around 8 a.m., 8:30, having a large breakfast. That sets me up for my day because a lot of days I'm starting training at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and I'm going. So if I push that off, like I just start to lose energy and just not feel great a couple hours, 3 hours into the day. So, it'll be a ground beef patty, maybe 4 ounces of ground beef, 5 eggs, a bowl of fruit. And that's like my breakfast, a nice solid breakfast. And then most of what I'm eating throughout the rest of the day is like either ground beef or chicken, and then some portion of white rice or a piece of fruit. Mm-hmm. That's like 9 times out of 10 my meals. Yeah. We don't usually get that creative or exciting with our meals until we have a little bit more time on the weekend to do something.
Yeah.
But it's systemized. It's like, not every meal has to be an experience. It's
yes. And that's another, that's a whole caveat of like, we have this like, we have this desire to like romanticize all of our food. And I think there's a world that exists where you can make high quality recipes and you can partition out the ingredients so you can track it and log it and, be mindful. But at the same time, it's like that works. Like, and I'm the same way. Like, usually breakfasts and lunches look like that. And then my wife and I will kind of collaborate on dinner. Like, because the more you can just separate out your food and the more you can simplify your nutrition, the easier it is because you shut off decision fatigue about what you're going to eat. Yeah.
Yeah. Find things that work for you, create a system.
Yeah.
And take action on it, put it in place. Mm-hmm. Whether it is, what I've done in the past too is like when I make dinner, I make enough dinner for lunch the next day.
Oh, come on now.
And I put that in the fridge. And like, that's a great system. Dude,
Tupperware, grab it out.
That's a great system that I used to use a lot. I don't really do that as much anymore. But if you're making dinner, make extra, throw it in a Tupperware. That's your lunch for the next day. Mm-hmm. And then, systemize your breakfast, whether that's a protein shake or eggs, whatever it looks like. But, getting some portion of protein in the morning and then, carrying that throughout the day. Yeah.
I think one last thing that I'd like to note is just going back to like that daily protein total. Mm-hmm. I think for some people, like simplify that, make it like a mathematic equation. Don't let it be this like big daunting number that you have to like crush out of the park. Partition it into, okay, for this meal, I'm going to have 30 grams. This meal, I'm going to have 30 grams. This meal, I'm going to have 30 grams. And then the rest, like use that 70-30% rule and have a supplement, right? Like if I had breakfast, was intentional about my breakfast, and then maybe at like 10 a.m. I had like a protein bar. Well, now you're 50 grams into your 180 gram goal. And then now you're going to have lunch that's already pre-prepared. It's 30 to 40 grams. Now you're half on your way to that 100,
Yeah.
If you can, I think making it like an equation that you're just trying to chunk out helps so much, because then it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the benefit too of like actually eating 3 square meals a day.
Yes.
I digress. Fasting, there's definitely a lot of benefits to fasting, but I don't think that you want to be like skipping a meal every single day.
Because most people do fast. Like we just kind of talked about that. Like most people are just totally neglecting that first meal. And so I think more people need to get in this systemized rhythm of recognizing hunger, eat food, digest it, like get kind of robotic with it. You know what I mean? Like, burp.
Yeah.
I think more people need that.
Yeah.
Because that's how we create success long term.
Yep.
So
one last thing. Talk to us about a quality protein supplement. Not just quality protein, but if you're looking at a supplement specifically, what's a quality protein supplement look like?
Yeah, I think it's choosing, going back to the high bioavailability. So it's choosing one that's going to have a high bioavailability. Some of that, like I just got some egg white protein powder. I actually really like that. It could be like a whey isolate. It could be, they make a lot of like grass-fed whey. I would go whey. I think you could go plant-based, but you're going to, number one, probably miss out on some essential amino acids, as well as a lot of those typically have a little bit more carbohydrates. So you just have to be mindful about calorie intake and where you're choosing to put your calories. So, and then I think there's 2 things that come to mind. Number one, what does the ingredients list look like? I mean, if it's a laundry list of things that you've never heard about, I think it's safe to say, like, is that the best, or is there a better option? And then the second thing would be, how does your body react to it? One of the dumbest things that we've just become it's become so normalized is like the term protein farts, right? Like if your gut is actively responding to what you're putting in your body, it probably doesn't like it.
Yeah, if you're feeling discomfort and gassy after you eat something, or especially a protein supplement, then it's a sign that your body's like, I don't know.
And it's because it's consistent in volume and smell. I feel like, honestly, I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like for me, anytime I've had a protein supplement that my body didn't agree with, there's a consistency about how the reaction, right? The input output. I know for me, if I choose a whey protein that is both whey concentrate and whey isolate, when it has that concentrate tag, I am not about that. It's bad news for my gut. And
you feel much better on a whey isolate.
If it's whey isolate, pure whey isolate, totally fine.
Interesting.
Or I just started doing the egg white protein. I feel totally fine. But yeah, you just got to be paying attention is all. So I think that gives people some good markers
Whole
to shoot
food,
for. But
clean ingredients, and does your body agree with it?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool, man.
Go get your protein.
Let's go.